In a world with endless possibilities, it's quite hard to find what you really want out of life. After finishing high school, I struggled with this as well, and I have spent a lot, and I mean really a lot, of time thinking about it. I think the greatest problem most people stumble into is that they think about this question for only 1 or 2 minutes here and there or dodge it completely. And no wonder. It's a difficult question and frustrating if you don't get a satisfying answer. But like with nearly all things, the only way out is through. You have to confront this question with the right tactics until you get an answer. I've come across a journal entry from May 2022, in which I wrote the following. At the beginning of the week, I asked myself again what I want in life. And I know what the answer is not. Following instant gratification stuff. That means being on my phone, being on Twitter, being pointlessly on YouTube, having a compulsion to eat garbage, and so on. I don't want that. These things don't fulfill me. They hollow me out. Instead of asking what fulfills you, you should ask yourself what doesn't fulfill you. What then remains is a good start. I think that's also the reason why I've never really liked terms like purpose and passion. They fixate on one thing and take flexibility out of life. I'm very glad that I've just noticed that. It's a very good approach to living a good life. Rereading this 2 years later was pretty interesting, and I still agree with my younger self. The world is so chaotic and full of possibilities that, in order to have a reasonably clear vision for your future, you have to make sure that you know what you definitely don't want. Then you have the first vague idea in which direction you should go, which is away from your personal dystopia. Otherwise, the sheer abundance of opportunities can paralyze you because they are so big and so endless that you don't even know where to start. So, on the lowest and most fundamental level, your goal can be to not suffer stupidly for the rest of your life. This sounds banal, but from my perspective, this is a good first step. Because if you look into the world, a lot of people suffer stupidly, and it would be a good start if you don't become one of them. And from there on, once you know what you definitely don't want, you have your first objective. I definitely didn't want to be a slave to modern technologies that overstimulate my dopaminergic system, so my first objective was to stop the bad habits. As a substitute, I started to read more books, take notes, listen to useful podcasts, go on walks, and observe my thoughts. And do I have the final answer today? Who knows? Probably not. But I have found something to work towards that I like, and something to run away from that terrifies me. So I guess this is a pretty good starting point. But in the end, I will go down only one of many possible paths in life. It won't be the best, and it won't be the worst. Most of the things I could experience, I won't be able to do in time. For some, this is hard to accept, but if it makes things easier, it's the same for everyone. From Marcus Aurelius to the confused university student, from me to you to our parents. Take the first step by doing the opposite of the thing that frightens you, and then stay on this path. Spend time alone once in a while. Reflect, and observe, and the answer might get clearer over time. I will leave you with some words from Steve Jobs that keep coming to mind once in a while.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.